Hello and welcome to Community Service Spotlight. I'm your host, Bud Qualk, and today the redcoats are really coming. I promise. Stay tuned. I'll be right back. Today we're here with Robert Worden, and he's associated with the Ambassadors, Paducah and McCracken County.
Paducah, the Paducah Ambassadors.
Paducah Ambassadors, but McCracken County is welcome?
Yes, they most definitely are.
I've seen you guys all over the place, and your signature
Red coats.
Red coats, yes. Yeah, I've seen it in a lot of places. You guys really get out there.
We do, and red is visible. That's one of the reasons we chose it. It's also the color of tourism. It's the color of welcome, and it's actually red and white are the city colors.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay,
so
the Visitors Bureau knew that though, right? The Visitors Bureau knew that,
yes,
I guess.
Yes, they did.
You work closely with them?
We work in conjunction, 1 with the mayor, and 2 with the Chamber of Commerce, and 3 with the Paducah Visitors Bureau.
Okay, in that order?
Well, no. We work with whomever needs us at the time.
Okay, well, what exactly do you do as ambassadors?
Officially, we're meeters and greeters. Now, that sounds very simple, but it can be in a number of situations. We meet the boats as they come in. We had 30 stops last year of river boats, people from all over the world getting off, and the redcoats are the first ones to meet and greet, to advise them what's available downtown, where to go, where to shop. Some of the river boats have their own buses, and we also are on the buses doing tours.
You get to ride the buses too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That would be great.
Well, one of my jobs also, I'm a certified tour guide instructor, and in order to be one of the tour guides, you have to go through an annual recertification program. That's because the boats are very demanding in terms of what they expect and what they want from us, and we want to comply with them. And fortunately, we've stayed one step ahead as we move through this.
And you have to go to Hawaii for that training, right? No?
No, don't you wish? Usually we do that at City Hall.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And ambassadors, Paducah or McCracken County, or however you want to look at it, but you're saying that the boats are very demanding. Do they have this ambassadors in every city along the river? Or?
They do not. And they usually tell their people about us before they get here. They get off looking for the redcoats. Or in the summertime, we're wearing red shirts. Our winter costume or uniform is going to be a red coat, red tie, white blouse or shirt, and black slacks. In the summertime, we moved to khaki pants and a red shirt simply because of the heat. But we're still very visible.
Have you ever heard of any imposters that show up with red coats? And
there are people who show up in red, but when you ask them a question, they don't have the answers.
Okay, well you'd think you would with all the training and whatever you have.
Right. Well, we go through a 2-day process on annual recertification. And we go through some basic elements as well as what is new, what's changed, what's different, what's happening in the city. Right now we're looking at the Quilt Show, the April Quilt Show,
already,
and there's also a September Quilt Show. In both quilt shows we are there. I've got chairmen for each activity, and they direct then a team. So during a quilt show we might have as many as 25 or 30 ambassadors busy through that time period.
Plenty of venues.
Plenty of venues.
I know I'm with Rotary. We have ours out there at the JC Civic Center. and
we have the district Rotary clubs coming to Paducah, and the Paducah Ambassadors will be hosting that.
When is that?
I'll have to look on my calendar.
It's once a year, annual.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Yes. We don't want to get into that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, if I wanted to be an ambassador, how would I?
First of all, do you qualify in terms of where you live? We like people that are from Paducah or McCracken County. And the reason for that is not that we're hostile to people that live further away, but we like people that are aware of the things that are happening, that have access to the local news through either a paper or TV or other brochures, something. Also easy transportation. They don't have to travel a long distance to get to anything. Some events occur almost spontaneously. We'll get a phone call saying, by the way, this is happening day after tomorrow. Could you be there? We need 20 people.
Yeah, only 20 though.
Yes. So we have to get on the phone and start calling.
Well, how many do you have, and you have active and inactive members? Maybe?
We do. Right now, actively, we're around 180 active members.
Oh my gosh!
Yes, we have a board of directors.
So that'd be, in a pinch, you could activate maybe 100 and something people.
We could.
Oh my God!
And I'm a delegator. I like to delegate things to different chair people for different positions. I have in front of me an event that's coming up, and this particular chairperson has 3 dates, and she's got 25 people listed with the times. So she's taking care of that for me, and she reports back to me. I'm the one that gets the credit, but she's the one doing the work.
That's the way you like it, right?
Well, it works nice that way. I can come to the rescue, and I can be the bad guy. If there's a decision that has to be made that somebody doesn't like, I serve in that role. They can always, quote, put it back on me.
Okay, well, before we go any further, let's
Yes.
get some contact information and where you're at. We'll revisit this at the end of our session.
Mm-hmm.
So get your pencil and paper out. If you're interested in joining the ambassadors or want to contact them, what phone numbers,
All right.
emails?
The Paducah Ambassadors, first of all, it's a post office box 2267, Paducah, Kentucky, and that's actually at City Hall.
Okay.
All right. So our telephone number there at the office is 270-444-8632.
8632, 444-8632.
Yes.
And if you stop, everybody knows where the City Hall is.
Yes.
You can stop in there, probably say, hey, do you know where the ambassadors are?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay. Anything, any website or email?
Unfortunately, not for the public. I've got a private Facebook page for the ambassadors.
Oh, okay, Facebook, okay.
Yes.
Just go in there and type Paducah
Yes.
Ambassadors.
Now, if you just look online for Paducah Ambassadors, it's going to take you to the city page. And they will have some basic information, which again includes our telephone number and our address and some basic
Okay.
comments.
Yeah. So, if somebody's got event going on, and how do you qualify for an event? Is it, you don't do it for birthday parties and things like that, probably not, but.
We try not to. We try to get things that affect more people. We like to reach out to the world. Actually, the city of Paducah is a UNESCO city. In working with the Paducah Tourism, we just recently hosted a worldwide UNESCO event, and the Paducah Ambassadors were very much a part of that.
Yeah, the whole world, and we were the one per place.
Yes.
Now, I've heard some rumors, I'm not going to talk about it, where somebody's trying to do away with the UNESCO. Have you heard that before? We don't need to get into that. but-
Well, not UNESCO.
Political.
Yes, but it doesn't affect Paducah in any way.
Oh,
The
okay.
city of Paducah has already made a commitment, and we're going to stand by that commitment, and we're going to follow
That's
through
great.
with it. Yes.
That's great.
So
'Cause I was
we're
worried.
not losing anything.
Okay. Okay, say I'm coming off the boat.
Yes.
And I'm from Denmark or someplace. I don't know anything about Paducah. Where would you direct me to get started, or would you give them some highlights of some restaurants or places to
Normally
go?
we like to ask, what would you like to do? I don't want to direct you where you don't want to go. Many people are looking for antiques, and we have a whole list of antique stores and shops. If they're looking for restaurants, most people on the boat actually dine very well on the boat. But if they're looking for restaurants, we help them find those restaurants, whether they're looking for a pastry or a sit-down breakfast, or whether they're looking for barbecue or a soup and a salad. We can get them to a place that meets their needs. Usually they're also looking for one of our downtown museums. So the easiest one, and one a lot of people want to know about, is the National Quilt Museum. And we can direct them there. Or we can direct them to the Lloyd Tillman House Civil War Museum, or the River Discovery, or the Paducah Railroad Museum. Any of these, we can send them to the Yser Art Center, with
Lots of
the
places.
Red Yak is out front.
Yeah.
We can send them to a park. We can talk them about a Greenway Trail. Many people get off the boat, have bicycles available, get off and actually ride the Greenway Trail.
Seen them do that.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's all kind of places and things to go. I was down there one day when the boat just came in. It was the American Queen. I guess was one of the big. They stopped. They have 5 boats, and the river industry kind of was really dying off. Because I'm friends with Bill Baxter at the Tillman House, and he said, they're dying off, and all of a sudden now we've got all kind of boats coming in now.
Yes, 30 stops last year.
Only 30.
Yes, and that's going to increase.
Yeah.
We have a commitment from Viking Cruises. They're going to be doing a Mississippi cruise, and the only stop not on the Mississippi will be Paducah, Kentucky. That's because Paducah is a UNESCO city.
Oh my
and
gosh.
that's very big in Europe.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was down there one day, and the guy got off this boat, and I said, "You got any questions?" And he said, "Where's the liquor store?" Well, we don't have any liquor stores downtown Paducah, which
Actually,
is kind of surprising.
We have 2 distilleries
Two
and
distilleries,
a
yeah.
microbrewery that's with easy walking access.
Yeah,
so
there you
yeah,
go.
They can get alcohol.
Not too many people or too many towns have distilleries, and we have 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. And if you haven't been there, you need to go. Even if you don't drink liquor, it's really a great history. They'll take you on tour of all the different stills and
Sure.
back. You know, when
If you go to the Moonshine Company, they're going to give you the historic aspect. It's going to be very quaint. It's almost like a museum in itself. And if you go to the Silent Brigade, it's going to be very upscale and modern.
Yeah.
But in both places, you can actually see the process going on.
Right,
Yes.
and the Moonshine place, they just bought a bunch of new big equipment, and they're making a bunch there.
Mm-hmm.
They can't keep up with demand, they say. I found that surprising, but I guess that's the way it is. It's really popular nowadays.
Mhm. And then a lot of people want to go to the Paducah Beer Works, and some of them we could even get access through other vehicle, travel, cab, or other things to go to dry ground.
Yeah, dry grounds. I can see dry ground out my window at the
Mm-hmm.
bank. Oh, I'm not supposed to say bank, but I guess it's okay.
Your place of employment.
Yeah. Okay, well, how did you get acquainted with this? You've evidently been involved for many years, maybe?
I don't like, it doesn't feel like many years. It feels like it's very fresh and new to me. When I came to Paducah, I came as a minister in church work, but my marriage changed, and I ended up then working 26 years at a chemical plant. And as I was about to reach retirement, I didn't want to quit doing things. I did want to get off the 12-hour swing shift, but I wanted to keep volunteering and doing things, and the Paducah Ambassadors seemed right up my alley.
Yeah, I know how that 12-hour midnight shift is. I've done that many times myself. So yeah,
Yes.
you're right. But you hate to retire. I tried it twice. I didn't like it either time. You lose your identity. You know, your routine's screwed up. You've lost your work family.
Well, in my case, I just lost the income.
Well, the income's
Yeah, I agree.
that's a big one too. Yeah.
But I invested enough when I was working that we were able to afford it. My wife and I are both getting Social Security and a little bit of the income that I invested, and it should last us for a while. But I wanted to stay busy. I wanted to be involved. I want to be doing things that are fun.
You live longer.
Oh, of course you do. Yes.
Yeah.
I discovered that the people that just retired and went home and sat down did not live a long time.
That's correct. I think everybody says the same thing about that.
Yes.
Now, do you have national headquarters or state headquarters?
The Paducah Ambassadors are an entity to themselves. We don't belong to anybody, which is why I said earlier we don't work for, but we work in conjunction with the mayor and the chamber and the Visitors Bureau. We were established in 1988 as a local organization, and the time Mayor Jerry Montgomery was one of those driving forces.
Yeah.
And this year is our 30th anniversary. But we've been at it that long. She started it. She had a vision. She created the group. They had their first training, and we've been going since then. It's been increasing since then.
Oh my. Now, so the city gives you all the money you need, right?
That would be nice. The city is nice enough to provide its office space. And
That's worth a lot.
Yes. And we also have computer access there. We are remodeling our office right now to make it more acceptable for small meetings. So not just a place where we can go and get on a computer and check finances or send out emails, but where small groups can meet, plan, design, promote. And that's happening more and more.
You don't have to pay insurance or taxes or utilities.
We are a nonprofit organization, a 501c3, which makes us tax exempt. We fill out a 990 e-form every year.
Okay. Yeah, the IRS is keeping a close eye on you and garden clubs and everybody
Yes.
nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
used
we
not
want to be
that way.
legitimate. Sure
Yeah.
we do. Yes.
Yeah, now you have to file taxes, and even though if you don't you have to go online and you said.
Yes, we do the postcard version.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Now, our income, though, we do have an income, but it's not that anybody pays us. They're all through donations. So if anybody wants to make a donation to the Paducah Ambassadors, we'd be more than happy to take it. We also, it's not a contract, but just a nice agreement with the riverboats. We're so pleased. When they utilize our tour guides, they make a donation on their behalf to the Paducah Ambassadors. Okay. And that's very nice. We would do it without that. We'd do it for free. We're not in it for the money, but it's such a blessing to receive that donation. And so we look forward to the riverboats.
Well, but none of the locations in Paducah and McCracken County, like you suggest they go to here, but that where you suggest they don't you don't get donations from them probably, though, do you?
No.
No. That seemed like if I wanted you to recommend them coming to my restaurant or my venue or whatever.
Okay. When we work with the Chamber of Commerce, we go to the ribbon cuttings.
Okay.
So we do participate in many of the local businesses. We want to be there. We want to support them. We want to promote them. I've seen you at the Chamber breakfast, the Power breakfast. We are there socializing and fraternizing, but not in a sense that it benefits us, in the sense that we can be of further service. How can we be of assistance to people? That's what our group is about. We meet, we greet, we help. Fortunately, we've been blessed enough that we continue to survive, and we have enough money to do so.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's great, because without you guys, I've been to ribbon cuttings before. Sometimes you get a big crowd, sometimes you don't get a very big crowd.
And wearing the red, it's always, we're visible.
Yeah.
Now that's one of the times, even if it's hot in the summer, you can't wear a summer outfit. Ribbon cutting requires the red coat.
Okay.
More formal.
Well, I wear a coat in the summer too, so you get used to it. Long
Sure
sleeve shirt and a
yes.
coat, you get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have 3 different grades of red coats. I've got a nice winter coat. This one is polyester, and it's good for rain or summer weather. And I've got another one that's nice and dressy. My wife has been kind enough. I now have 8 white shirts, and I have about 15 different red ties.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've got about 15 ties, but I've only got one red one. You must have a big tie rack, I guess.
My wife bought me one of those things that's like when you go to the dry cleaners where the clothes come around.
Oh my gosh.
So that holds many of my ties, and I have 2 other little tie racks that hold others.
Yeah. So you mostly finance from private donations,
Yes.
and then, of course, you said the boats. So if there's somebody out there that's be interested, and there's no donation too small,
That's
I guess.
correct. That's correct.
And we'll get back to the at the end of the session. We'll talk about your contact information again. So be ready. We'll get the information back to you at the end of the day. I'll bet you have 100 neat stories that
Oh, you do. They're exciting. Again, we could go back to the riverboat. One nice little lady hobbled up the shore one day and got to the top, and she said, "This is my 6th time to Paducah on the riverboat." She kept coming back to Paducah. We had some other people.
That's expensive, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's outside my range financially. But we also go to different places with businesses and corporations. We meet people from places that have heard about the Redcoats through TripAdvisor, Travelocity, through emails.
So
and
you're
through
on all
Facebook.
that, yeah.
Yes. We could be doing a bus tour, and we do that during the Quilt Show. We'll be doing tours out to Whitehaven, and we're grateful for their cooperation. And as we're talking, someone will be videoing or taking pictures, and before we get off the bus at Whitehaven, it's already posted on Facebook or on one of the other social organizations.
Sometimes that's good and sometimes it's bad, right?
Well, we have to be on our toes, absolutely. It was another reason that we require the certification.
Yeah.
We also require every tour guide to have a cell phone. During one of the quilt shows last year, I was driving a van and looked over, and the trolley had stopped, and our ambassador was off with his cell phone and the trolley driver, and he had called an ambulance. The lady had gotten off there and fallen. He stayed with her, he comforted her, he called and got medical attention, and that, again, was the Paducah Ambassador, a redcoat.
You can't beat that.
Yes.
Do you have any doctors that are in the ambassadors? You probably have a little bit of everybody in there.
Yes, I know I've got some nurses. I'm not sure if I got any doctors.
Well, nurses are just as good.
Well, sometimes they're better. My wife is a retired nurse, and she would tell me that.
I think I knew that. So, what is the ambassador's goal? What do you want when all the dust settles?
Our goal is to improve the image of the city of Paducah.
Well, that's pretty simple.
It is.
Yeah.
We're a simple organization. We just like to have fun doing it, and we want people to walk away feeling like they have had contact with a professional, not a paid, but professional quality organization that's assisted them in discovering this wonderful city.
So how long have you been doing this, you said?
The Certified Tour Guide program is only about 4 years old,
Oh, okay.
but we've been doing tours for 30 years.
Yeah, and I know some of the people in town that it's all about the boats for some of them, and you guys are right there to direct them in the right direction. I don't think they'd like the Tillman House. They'd never find the Tillman House without somebody giving them directions when they get off the boat.
That's right. If you just said 7th in Kentucky, that still doesn't do it. Yes.
That's right. If I wanted to volunteer, do you have, if I'm not a redcoat, do you have volunteers besides the redcoats?
We can utilize other volunteers, but I'd rather you turn in an application and become a redcoat. We have applications available. Gives name, address, telephone number, your interest, and all it takes is 2 other ambassadors to say, I like this person, and we'll get them in. We do an orientation about twice a year.
That's it, just one, I like this person, and no blackballs, right?
That's right.
You
We don't discriminate due to age, race, religion, politics, or anything. We're concerned about people who love Paducah.
And there's no waiting list. You don't have to wait on a waiting list till somebody retires or dies.
No.
And so you got an unlimited amount. And you said 180?
We have 180 active members right now.
And do you have regular meetings where you get together and discuss what your plans are? Or?
We have a board of directors that meets 4 times. I've got a meeting coming up in the near future. We're going to be discussing it. But other than that, I have these chair people of different events, and they're the ones who make the contact with people, sometimes offer them training for that, situations, assignments, everything that's necessary and needed.
So every event that happens, it's planned ahead.
Yes.
You have impromptu stuff all the time, probably.
Well, we have some of those,
like
but
too much.
we would rather plan and do it right.
So if you can plan ahead, somebody's going to volunteer, or since you're in charge, I guess, you assign it to certain people that you know that's the kind of thing that they could do.
Yeah, I offer it to them.
Offer it to
Yeah, we don't just force people to do anything.
You're up next. No, that's not a way.
If you enjoy doing it, you're going to do a better job. I want to find somebody who's got an interest there who'd love to take it. Same with the District Rotary Club coming. I contacted a person and they said they would love to do it. So I feel much more confident that they're going to put together a crew and do the job right.
Okay, so if you delegated that to one person or a couple, then they would be responsible to ask around then for volunteers and get their crew together and make sure they're there on time and all that.
Yes.
And that's the same way with the ribbon cuttings and what have you?
Yes.
Yeah, I try to make as many ribbon cuttings as I can, but many times the customer comes first and I get canceled out. But
our ambassador in charge of ribbon cuttings is Sue Tharp.
Okay.
And she sends out an email. She lets us know when and where. If there's a change, she also gets back with us.
I see her at all the ribbon cuttings.
Yes.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yes.
Okay, now I've got it now.
Delegation is fun.
Yeah, yeah. Because, and like I said, the ribbon cuttings, when I try to make as many ribbon cuttings as I can, I wish more people would get, there's 1,000 people that could go to those things, you know, I'm sure, and all the businesses and banks and attorneys' offices and things and everything. I know it takes time out of your day, but where I work, we try to get as many as we can. But we sometimes get 5 or 6 or 7 or even 8, but I'm at least usually there with a couple people, or if I'm not there, then you know that Bud's back at the office with a customer or something.
Right.
Because those new businesses need all the support we can give them, and you know how that is. That's why you got to do what you do.
Yes.
Yeah. Now before we go any further, let's get that contact information out there again, especially for people that want to donate or join.
So they can send it to Post Office Box 2267, and that's at 300 South 5th Street. That's City Hall. Our telephone number 270-444-8632.
Okay, and it's at City Hall, and there's not somebody there at the phone all the time, is there?
There is not, but they can leave a message, and I check the phone every day.
Okay. And again, if I want to volunteer, I can go to the court. I can get any of those numbers you said.
Yes.
Or if I'm with Sue over here at a ribbon cutting, I can ask her to nominate me. Is that?
Yes, that would work. She can get you an application, fill it out, nominate you, and turn it in.
And so then at the board meeting, they decide maybe on.
Well, what happens once I get at least 5 applications? I hold a new member orientation.
Okay.
And we have information to give to everybody about the history of Paducah, the structure of Paducah, some do's and don'ts, what you wear, how you wear, and then I take them down to the office itself.
Get the dress and give them the copy of the dress code.
Yes.
Because it sounds like you're very regimented as far as that.
Well, we try to be. I mean, we have people looking to us. They don't know that we are not a paid organization or professional in that sense.
Yes.
So we try to be professional in the quality sense.
Yeah.
We want people to respect the city of Paducah and love the city of Paducah, so we're going to give the best image we possibly can.
And diversity. You want the most diversity, I'm sure,
Yes.
that you can get. So
I've got men, women, white, black. If I had green or pink, I would take those two. I've got tall and short.
Yeah.
One gentleman is 6'7" or 6'8", and one of our ladies, I think, is about 4'5".
yeah.
It's
I
fun
know
to get them
exactly
together.
who you're talking
Yes.
about. She's a sweetheart, I'm
Yes,
telling you.
she is.
Oh my goodness. Well, they're all sweethearts. I don't want
Yes.
to go there. They're all sweethearts, even the men.
Yes. We have such a wonderful crew of volunteers,
Yeah.
and that's because they care about the city of Paducah.
Yeah, yeah. Is Wally still active?
Wally is active. Wally and
Okay.
Jerry both.
Yeah, he was in your position for a while,
Yes.
I think. Yeah, he tells me stories.
Yeah, but the office of president is a 2-year office. You serve 2 years as president-elect, same as vice president, and then you move it in 2 years. We have a nominating committee that's selected by the president, active right now, where we're going to replace 4 board members and 1 of the officers. Because you serve on the board for 3-year terms, you serve as an officer for a 2-year term.
Okay, well, who's vice president right now?
Janice Connor.
Janice, okay, I know her too.
Yes.
Yeah, I know most of you guys, I
Yes.
think. Yeah, Wally was a good friend. And I know he hated to retire. I think he retired, but he didn't retire, I don't
Yes.
think. Him and his wife, yeah, they were 2 good ones. Well, I want to thank you for coming in and sharing this information with us about the Paducah, McCracken County, Paducah Ambassadors. And I want to thank our viewers for staying tuned. This is Community Service Spotlight. I'm your host, Bud Qualk. We'll see you next time.